Diplomatic efforts to secure a ceasefire and prevent a full-scale Israeli assault in Rafah are intensifying. Thomas Pickering is a former U.S. ambassador to the United Nations, Jordan and Israel.
Current situation in Gaza, of course, is horrific. The number of deaths on both sides, but particularly the extraordinary number of Palestinians killed in the fighting in Gaza is something that obviously the world community should be totally concerned about and working hard to try to stop the slaughter and find ways on the path toward a peaceful solution to the long-standing issue between Israel and the Palestinians.
And the United States has vetoed calls for immediate ceasefire in Gaza 3 times already. In its latest veto on Tuesday, it said the draft resolution would jeopardize the sensitive negotiations on the captives taken by Hamas and other armed groups. So how is the US-led resolution fundamentally different from the one put forward by Algeria?
The US explained that its concern was that the question of dealing with the hostages was not included in the Algerian resolution. I believe that it has attempted to try to include in its proposed draft that particular issue, as well as serious and deep cautions to Prime Minister Netanyahu about going into Rafah without a very significant and well-thought-out plan to protect the civilians, something that appears to have been lacking up until now.
And do you think behind this is because the U.S. thinks that it should lead the talks?
I think that the U.S. believes that the problem has humanitarian aspects of great significance and very important requirements that should be met as soon as possible. That secondly, it is very important to move a process ahead which can then be evolved into something that American administrations have been seeking off and on for 30 or 40 years, which is a peaceful negotiated solution leading to 2 states, a state of Israel and a state of Palestine, living in peace under the broadest kind of international support and guarantees.
And do you think Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu will heed U.S. calls to halt his plans for Rafah offensive?
It's an excellent question, and so far he's been very negative on this subject. It doesn't mean that we have seen the end of the process. Hopefully that President Biden, whose policy is, I've watched closely, evolved over the last 3 months, is now seeking, I believe, a much more robust position with respect to how and in what way the resolution of this tragic and catastrophic situation can be achieved. And hopefully he will be able further to strengthen the U.S. commitment in that direction. I don't know whether they will submit their resolution to the Council or not, but it has within it, if I could call it, the beginnings of a capacity to make real progress.